Hi Virgo, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your November 2022 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who like, view, share, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, the Tarot spread as always, and also pulled the 4 agreements, Wisdom and the Oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have 12 and 12th house for you guys as Leo energy, and generally speaking, 12th house relates to spirituality, blind spots, and mental health. Nothing really going on there astrologically speaking, but I do see Leo energy in your spread. We have Jupiter, so Jupiter actually will be in Pisces through November, so it was in Aries for a bit, I was backtracking, now it's going to be in Pisces all of November, and Pisces energy for you guys is your 7th house of partnerships, contracts, and relationships. And we have Gemini. So Gemini for you guys is actually your 10th house of career and social status. And we actually will have Mars retrograde in Gemini all of November. So could definitely be a focus there. And I do see Gemini energy in your spread as well. All right, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started with the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the 8 of Wands, and challenging that, we have the 9 of Swords. So we actually see Sagittarius and Gemini energy here. So already we see an opposition energy, right? So I'll just be saying that for a lot of you, things might actually start moving, but possibly at a rapid pace to where you might start to feel overwhelmed. And for some of you, it could be a push-pull dynamic between your home life and your career as well. So, maybe you're just feeling like there's too much to take on, right? So, for example, in the United States, as we move toward the end of November and into December, there's going to be a lot of holidays coming up, right? And around the world, there's plenty of holidays coming up toward the end of the year, too. So it could just be one of those things where the demands of your work life might start to pick up, but also you might have to do a lot of family-related things, too. So it could just be a bit overwhelming. But for others, you could just be saying that possibly after a period of stagnation, things are starting to move forward, and it could just be a bit too much at once. All right, in the foundation position, we have quite a few cards. We have Justice, Libra energy, Page of Wands, Queen of Cups, Cancer energy, and the Empress. So we have 2 Venusian cards as bookends, basically, with these cards. But what I'm seeing with this primarily is that I feel like you have a desire to partner up with someone. So for some of you, it could be a more romantic relationship, but for others of you, it could actually be just more financially related. But it looks like there's a desire on your part to partner up with someone, but at the same time, you're too closed off to actually present that offer to them, right? So you're kind of hoping that they come to you. So I feel like you have your eye on someone, you see the potential for a solid partnership with that person, but at the same time, I don't see you wanting to take action toward actually telling them that that's what's on your mind. So that's primarily what I'm seeing there. And like I said, could be business or a romantic connection. Past energy, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So this is Virgo energy here, actually. So it could just be saying maybe during Virgo season you were doing a lot of work, right? That's one way it could be playing out. But it could just be saying that in general, this is the way you've operated, right? Usually just doing things for yourself. So maybe the thought now of partnering up with someone, possibly because whatever you are doing might have expanded to the point where it could be too much for you to take on, right? So on the one hand, you could see the appeal of, wow, yeah, I could really be nice to have someone to share this with, right? To share the responsibility, help me out a little bit. But you could just be so used to doing things on your own that could be the hard part to let go, right? All right, in the present position, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, this could just say that you might get some ideas around a way to present this idea, right? But I feel like there could still be some resistance to it. And of course, with the aces, they do offer that promise, right? But we always see it's the cloud, hand coming out through the cloud, which to me represents an idea of something. And we see the neutrality of the background too, right? Which to me says the potential is there, but there needs to be action taken toward it. All right, in the near future position, we have the 7 of Wands, Leo energy, and the 2 of Cups, Cancer energy again. So, yeah, I'm getting a similar theme here, right? Especially because for you guys in particular, Leo energy is 12th house energy. So I feel like this is that desire, right, creeping up for you to partner up with someone. Like I said, definitely given that we see the cups there, you tend to think love first, but we see quite a few pentacle energies here too, so it could be financial, especially given that we saw the 10th house energy come up for you guys. But at the same time, I feel like there's a resistance to it, right? So there's plenty of reasons why it could be the case. In fact, I even think that that was the theme for your reading last month, and I picked up on that too. But yeah, it looks like there's this fighting tooth and nail to keep a partnership away from you. So it's interesting. It's like wanting it, but then not wanting it at the same time. All right. In the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Five of Swords. So, well, in reverse, that is. So this is actually a good energy to see in the reverse, because to me it says that whatever the situation is, I feel like this is saying that you're not going to engage in any funny business to get what you want out of the situation, right? So, for example, if you just don't want to flat out ask the person to collaborate with you, you're not going to use some hidden means to try to get them to bring the idea to you, right? So at least there's that. So it seems like you will operate on the up and up, right? And maybe for some of you, let's say if it's a romantic relationship and you feel like they have a lot of suitors, right? You might be like, I don't really want to compete for that person in that regard, right? Or if it's like someone who you feel like you're seeing them succeeding in business in a certain way and you want to collaborate with them and you're like, you know what, but they probably get offers all the time, so you might just kind of fall back from the idea. But yeah, either way, at least this is a good thing to see when it's in the reverse position. All right, in the environment position, we have the Four of Wands. So interesting energy to see here, because this could be saying a couple different things to me. On the one end, this could just be saying that whomever you do have in your sights that you would like to partner up with actually would be very open to the idea. And, so if you brought it to them, they'd be like, oh, yeah, absolutely, let's go. But what was the other thing that had come with this? Just like slipped my mind. But that's definitely the primary thing that came to mind with that was like, okay, if there's someone in the environment that you do want to partner up with, it looks like if you present the idea to them, they're like, oh, yeah, absolutely, let's go. But yeah, I have no idea where the other thought for another way I can see this card playing out went. If it comes back to me, I'll get back to you on that. But yeah, sorry about that. All right, and the hopes or fears position, we have a couple of cards. We have the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, I feel like this is a bit of hope, right? Where something that's just out of your reach, as we see with that pentacle not quite being in this possession, is finally in your reach, right? We see it's firmly in this possession there, and you're able to move forward on the situation. So yeah, I feel like for some of you have felt like a bit of a stagnant energy and you want some movement, but it's just a matter of you might still be pretty particular about how to go about doing that. And in the outcome position, we have the Seven of Cups. So Scorpio energy here. So yeah, you could just be getting a little bit overwhelmed with maybe even how to present the idea, right? So even if you do feel like, okay, yes, I'm going to do this, you could just feel like, all right, well, what's the best way to present it to this person, right? Because this is an energy of communication for you guys. Scorpio is your third house communication, and there's going to be plenty of energy in Scorpio the first few weeks of the month. So you could just be feeling a little overwhelmed, like, okay, yeah, I have so many ways I could present this. How do I do it, right? Bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups. So this is actually a Pisces energy here, which of course does relate to, yes, romantic connections, but also just partnerships, contracts in general. So yeah, could just be saying that maybe this will be on the table for you this month for sure. But whether you're going to be presenting it or someone coming your way seems to be a little bit more up in the air. All right, moving on to your Four Agreements card, we have be impeccable with your word, speak with integrity. All right, and the message says, say only what you mean, avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. So yeah, I mean, obviously seems like pretty solid advice. Like I said, just looking at the cards in general, given that we see that Five of Swords in the reverse position there, I do feel like whatever approach you do take, you would be on the up and up, so I don't necessarily feel like that's a risk for you, but hopefully I resonate either way. All right, moving on to your Wisdom Oracle card, we have Come to the Edge. There's the artwork, and the number is 36. So at least on the surface, this sounds like it might be able to give you some insight into the situation, but we'll see. Okay, essential meanings says courage, taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear, and accepting risk. The Oracle's message, facing the unknown is the only choice you really have right now if you want to progress. It's okay to be afraid. Now is the time to take a risk that is not calculated, to feel the exhilaration as you ready yourself for a leap of faith. Spirit is present, so let go of fear. You are called to express your true self. Listen to your heart and soul, not your head. Come to the edge and discover that you can fly. You must step into the unfamiliar so that you may find your miracles. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there. It looks like it is kind of nudging you toward taking some kind of a risk in a situation and expressing yourself. Like I said, it does feel like it's partnering up in some way, whether it's romantically or just business-wise, but looks like there's some fear around it. The relationship message says it's scary to be truly intimate with someone, to allow him or her to see all of you, especially the parts you've kept hidden and protected. Now is the time to take the risk and let yourself be seen, truly seen. It's important that you speak up, voice what you need, state who you are, say what you hope for. This is not the time to play it safe, but to take a leap of faith. You'll be glad you did. If you're seeking a relationship, the same applies. Take one step toward the gods and they will deliver what you truly desire. So yeah, pretty positive message there too. And it does make me think of the fact that, like I was saying, Jupiter, which did come up near dice too, will be moving back into your opposite sign of relationship. So it could just be saying that this could be a time to reevaluate that and get some movement there. The prosperity message says, if ever there was a time for you to take a leap of faith into the unknown, it is now. This is the perfect moment to take a big risk. The unknown is the only choice now, and if you come to the edge, you will discover treasure beyond your wildest dreams. Allow your courage to lead you in spite of your fears. You don't need to know the exact form of what you're going for. The essence is much more powerful, and Spirit has a way of delivering an even better version of prosperity than you could imagine. Take that step. The results will be amazing. So yeah, again, a pretty positive message there, which it's good too, because like I said, for you, there does seem to be a split, where for some of you this is a romantic thing, others it's business. So either way, those messages seem like they'd be helpful, so hopefully that's the case. And lastly, we have a mudra for you guys. So this is your mudra here. It's the Chakra mudra, and the keyword for it is consolidation. All right, and there's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But under benefits, it says centering and grounding improves digestion, assimilation, and elimination, reduces gas and bloating, increases vigor and self-confidence. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.